to another Angel live stream. It's all about our upcoming film, The Senior. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. My name is Christina, and I'll be your host today. So we're just 1 week away from the theatrical release of The Senior. Tonight, we'll be joined by the man whose story inspired it all, Mike Flynt, and the actor who brought the journey to life to the big screen, Michael Chiklis. We'll talk about their experience and how they work together. We'll play a little game, get everyone excited to see the film. It's been a long time coming. It really has. Tickets will be on sale at angel.com/seniorlive and be a part of the opening weekend on September 19th. You can also see a lot of merch on our website, angel.com/seniormerchlive. I'll say that one more time. I think we got a little cut out. Angel.com/seniormerchlive. You'll get a shirt like this that says Flynt on the back. You probably can't really see it, but they're really cool shirts. Okay, and time permitting, we'll try to end with a Q&A. Post your questions below in the chat, and we'll see how much time we have later. And make sure to stay until the end because we have Tyrell Hill's new song that is going to be playing at the end credits of the film, and we'll be showing that. It's called Know Your Name. You don't want to miss that. Now, before we bring our guests on, let's watch the trailer together and see what we have to look forward to tonight.
They gonna know our name. They gonna feel our pain. They gonna know our name. They gonna feel our pain.
Knock me down, I don't feel pain.
Mike, you're a runt, you always will be, but you can hit.
A dark shadow here to stay.
You ever heard of a 59-year-old guy going back to college, signing up for the football team?
Every one of you is gonna have to earn a spot on this team.
Good to see you playing with us, Coach. Should be good for team morale.
Ain't your coach. Gonna be your teammate.
Man, that man crazy.
Dad, do you think it's time to let it go? Why does this one have to be a win?
It's not about winning. It's about finishing what you start.
What kind of music gonna make somebody dance like that?
You want to be here? Then move your feet.
What's your problem with me, Stanton?
You better get out of my face, little man.
Get out of my face. Nothing matters if I can't be out there with my team.
He has a chance to redo his senior year. He wants to be a better man, better father.
Take a few shots.
I want you to hit me, Mike. Hit me. Don't quit on me.
It's not my job to heal him of his sins.
I was born for this moment. I want the glory. There's nothing that can stop me now. I know it's for me. I was born for this instant. I want the glory.
No one knows whether you're gonna get out on that field again but you.
How you know that?
You ever met a linebacker my age?
Ready for this, old man?
Let's go! No one's gonna run over me. I'll guarantee you that.
Yes, I want the glory. Hey, you ever done roids?
No, man.
Then how are you doing this at your age, man?
At the moment, I got no idea.
That trailer looks baller. That was my first time seeing it too, so I am so excited for this to come out. What did you guys think? Let us know in the chat. We're going to ask maybe some of those questions later, and I'm so excited for this film to be out next Friday. Remember to get your tickets now by going to angel.com/live. Wait, angel.com/seniorlive. Sorry about that. I got a little excited. Okay, now let's officially welcome our guests. We have the senior Mike Flynt and our talented Michael Chiklis. Welcome to the live stream, you guys.
Hiya. How you doing?
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys. Would you guys like to share a brief little introduction on like who you are and how you relate to this film?
Okay.
Well, I'm Michael Chiklis, and I played the magnificent Michael Flynn right here.
um, who inspired this incredible movie and through his own actions, and I'm just humbled to be a part of it.
And I'm Mike Flynt, and this is my story, our story, and I am so honored that Angel Studios stepped in when they did. Mark Ciardi and um, the incredible writer Bob Isley that put all that together, and so we're just enjoying every second of this.
That's for
I'm
sure.
so glad to have you guys here tonight. I wanted to start off by asking you both, how did you two first connect? What was that like the first time you got to meet each other? And how all this started for this project between the two of you?
Well, I read the script. It was sent to me, and I just couldn't believe it. I really, even though I was told it was a true story, it was hard to believe that it was a true story. And then they made us, they had us a Zoom prepared for us like this, and I met Mike, and I was still skeptical until I met him in person. And when I met Mike, and it's actually on camera, I saw him, and I just, I remember when we shook hands, I just felt the strength in him. And I just went, oh boy, man, you actually did do this, didn't you? And it just became obvious to me that this was real. And it just made me really excited. I was like, wow, this is an incredible story. And people are going to love this. I always love a great sports movie. And especially, a lot of movies say based on a true story. Well, this should say this is a true story. And I'm so proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, and for me, meeting Michael, of course, I was certainly aware. I knew who he was whenever they contacted me and told me that Michael had agreed to play me in the senior, and then we, meeting in person, it was an honor. It was, I mean, I could see it in his eyes. The dedication, the desire that he had to make this the very best that he possibly could, and he did that and more. It was amazing.
Totally. Mike, especially with that, you got to see him really step into your shoes and kind of like relive that memory. What was it like seeing that step by step? Not only now that you have seen the film and it's like all coming together, but like as it was happening, what was that like?
Well, the thing about Michael playing my part, my life, he was 59, and so there were a lot of things that he did that I did, and you could tell that he had that football experience. He was able to move like a football player, and go through all the drills, do the actual contact to the degree that they would allow him to do it, because it's like we've talked about, the last thing we needed was Michael Chiklis getting severely injured. And so,
Right.
but he was very athletic, and he pulled it off when I don't know of anybody else that could have done it.
That's right. Can I hear a little
Thanks,
bit
Mike.
about that for you, Michael? Because I know you were 59 just like Mike was, and you have background in football. Can you tell me about that experience?
Yeah, listen, I was the captain of my football team in high school, and I had some full boat scholarships to a bunch of colleges to play college ball. But I knew I was going to go into acting and going into Boston University School of Fine Arts. You're not allowed to play a sport because theater is your sport, right? So, plus I wanted to keep my teeth, but it was kind of like riding a bike in a lot of ways, in that, anybody who's played football, you love football, right? And even a lot of people who haven't played football, look at how many of us love football, because it really is a metaphor for life, this sport. And it's just it's one of the greatest sports of all time. And I just thoroughly enjoy it. So the idea that I was going to get to go back on a field and play was thrilling. And then, it got very real very suddenly, when I was in that uniform and I went out on the gridiron, and these 20-something-year-old men were like, I was like, wow, these guys are fast. Wow, they're big. Oh no. Yeah, and he's just, that's what I love is the camaraderie of a team. There's nothing like it. There's nothing better than being on a team. There really isn't. I've always said this. I've always used it as a metaphor for, by the way, and being in theater and being in film and television is very much a team sport because it's 130 to 180 people getting together with a common goal, with a common cause, and to work together hand in glove and to do something and try to make something great happen. And, that's the kind of thing that makes your eyes open 10 minutes before your alarm in the morning. It's a thrill to be able to be part of a team and pull your own weight and pick up your teammates when they need it and have them pick you up when you need it. It's just and that's all in this film,
Totally. This is great because the next thing that I really want to emphasize on what we're going to talk about is the heart of this film, which is football. That's what brings us all together with this film. For you, Mike, football was at the center of your life, not just when you were young, but back again when you were 59. How do you feel like that shaped you as a person?
Well, football, to me, it's there is no other sport out there more like life than the game of football. And the thing about having a team that it's like Michael was talking about, that team, that's who you play for, because there are times when a team gets real far ahead or real far behind, and you look up in the stands and so many people are gone, but never once do you ever look on the sideline and your teammates are gone. They're always there, and that's who you play for. You have this bond that you form through the adversity that the coaches put you through to perform in such a way that you're proud of yourself, you're proud of your teammates, and you do anything and everything that you can to help your teammates. And it's the same. They're doing the same to help you in any way that they can. And so being able to experience that and then watching that played out on the screen is it's surreal. It's just absolutely incredible.
Totally. Now, with football being that full center, this is a question more for both of you guys, but like as audiences are watching this, what do you feel like they will walk out of that they don't really are expecting to feel when they see this kind of story on the big screen?
Well, like any great
Michael?
sports film, it's just very. I'm sorry, Mike. Did I interrupt you?
No, I wanted you to go ahead. I wanted you to go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just, I've always been a big fan of this genre because sports films, when they're great, they inspire and they motivate you to bring out the best parts of your own nature or to fix things. And, this is yes, football is at the center of this movie, but really it's much more than that because it's a redemption tale. It's a tale about a person trying to, not, you can't change the past, but you can change its meaning, right? So, and that's what Mike was trying to achieve by doing this, by going back, and it wasn't. He's articulated this to me in the past, and I think it's amazing, that he knew instinctively that he couldn't do this as a coach. He needed to be a fellow player. He needed to come down to the peer level, and he might have been a mentor and an older brother, but it was at that level that he could win their respect and be able to help them. Mike, you want to continue that because you lived it. So
Yeah, the bond that you form as a teammate, the adversity that you go through together, it creates that relationship that there may be other things outside that are you don't agree on, you don't have the same opinion about, but once you put on those helmets and once you step on that field, and you have that common goal in helping each other to overcome that obstacle that's coming against you. You've watched film, you know who the adversary is, and it's that focus that you have on that common goal to achieve what you're out there, what you joined that team to achieve, and you work together, and it creates relationships that many of them you have for life. I've got I've got guys coming back to these events and to see this film that I've been friends with for 55 years. And it's that bond of football that is what created the basis for that friendship that's lasted so long. And so it's one thing that I believe that America gets. They understand. That's why those stadiums are full on Saturdays. That they want to be part of that. The people in the stands that played at one point in time, those women that have sons or brothers that are out there playing or that have played in the past. They all want to be part of that team, that football team. It's just an exhilarating, amazing experience.
Totally. And I think that's also why this film really focuses on that theme of second chances, because football on its own can teach us that. Like, there's that story of the underdog, or like someone who comes back from like being a really low scoring game and they win. I've seen it in like multiple different shows and films. That's a theme that I really think our audiences will really like connect to. One last question that I wanted to ask you guys with relating to this theme before we get into our game is that idea of second chances. Why do you think that's such an important thing for people to know about and hear and see nowadays?
Well, I don't think there's any of us who don't look at their lives and have moments particularly from their youth, where we all face palm and go, oh, and or you to be deeper than that. There's things that you hold in your heart that hurt. That you wish you had done differently, that you wish you could have a second chance with. And, the whole overriding message of this movie to me is that, that you shouldn't give up on that you can have redemption, that you can get a second chance, and that you can make up for past mistakes. And that's part of the human experience. And it's just done very well in this picture. It's done well from a thematic standpoint, from a writing standpoint, from a performance standpoint, and it all just comes together. And on top of it, while being fun and entertaining, it's not just heavy. I don't want it to sound like it's maudlin or you know what I mean? It's not totally like that. It's I know this is a trope or a cliche, but this is a movie that'll make you laugh and it'll make you cry, and then it'll give you hope, and you'll go home with a smile on your face. It's true.
I totally agree. Anything else you want to add to that, Mike? No, you're all good.
Yeah, the second chance thing, and Michael touched on it earlier. There are so many times in life that we have things happen, we have those regrets. That I've said before that you can't change the past, but you can do something now. You can do something today to change the meaning of that. And whether it's going back and doing something to help someone else, do it in the name of that regret that you. And I think it's important that we also learn that we need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves for those mistakes that we've made, because everyone does that. They have those mistakes, and God mentions 5 different times in Scripture where He says that He remembers our sin no more. He totally blocks it out. We don't have that selective memory, and so we have a tendency to keep reliving things made, and we need to walk and give the offer and get past that and forgive yourself and do something positive and replace that positive act for that thing that you carried, that regret carried around for so long.
I think this film is really going to impact a lot of different audiences, and I'm so excited for more people to watch this. I just want to remind everyone, before we get into this game, to get your tickets now at angel.com/seniorlive. A lot of people are already getting them. You're probably going to be seeing that pop up there on the corner. So many people are so excited to see this movie. Now, let's begin with this game. Mike and Michael, are you guys ready?
I think so.
Okay, let me explain it a little bit before we get into it. So I'm going to start with a phrase, and you'll finish it as quickly as you can. There's no overthinking, just the first thing that comes to your mind. All right, let me get started here. I'll pull up the questions. Okay, so first question, and I'll have Michael, you can answer this one first. Now, the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word football is?
Fun.
Fun. What about you, Mike?
Teamwork.
Love that. Cool. Next question. The hardest part of being a player is?
Not wanting to let your teammates down.
Yes, yes. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, it's the overcoming the adversity to be, not just to be good, but to be great.
Yes. Now for these next couple questions, I want you guys to focus on like the real life perspective and then the actor's perspective. Okay? Here's the next question. So, the most important lesson from football teaches. Mike, will you answer this first?
Well, that you can do your best. You can do everything you're supposed to. Be 100% correct and devoted, and still get penalized because of something that someone else did. And you've got to overcome that. You've got to continue to go forward. And that's just part of the game, and that's part of life.
For me, it's one of the most valuable lessons I got from football is it taught me how to lose with dignity, because sometimes even when you do your best and you play incredibly well, your team loses, and you have to be able to take that loss with dignity. And even more so, it taught me how to win with dignity, so that when you win, that you aren't just gloating, and that you know how to win and have some respect for your opposition.
Great. No, those are great. Those are great answers, especially from the lessons we get, because it really is such a team sport. Okay, here's the next question. Question 4. One word that describes Mike Flynt / Michael Chiklis is? You guys can answer this for each other or about yourselves, whatever you prefer.
One word?
Yeah,
I
use one
want,
word.
like a lot of words.
You're breaking up.
I am?
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad on me. I didn't hear the question.
Let me read it one more time for you, Mike. One word that describes Mike Flynt / Michael Chiklis is? Were you able to hear that?
Well, I heard it, and
I'm sorry,
the fact.
Christina, I can't hear.
Here, we're going to have Calix help you out with that really quick. Let's see.
Well, the problem is that my name is with Mike here, and I know how I want to describe Mike, but I can't lump myself in with that kind of greatness. So
you're all good. You can focus on just answering for what word, or like I guess now multiple words that would describe Mike.
I'll say this. I'll say determined.
Dude, yes, especially with, like, he is the one and only oldest linebacker in college football history.
I talk about grimly determined, someone, the kind of pain.
Okay, if I can, let me see if I can see the question. One word that describes Mike Flynt.
See, now we got the glasses on.
Okay.
It's getting serious when you put the glasses
Michael
on.
Chiklis?
Yeah. He's freezing up.
You're asking me for one word that describes Michael Chiklis.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, he's dedicated. He's devoted. Yeah.
I love those answers. You guys are so sweet. I love how you guys have been
All
able
the
to connect
D's.
with this whole story.
All the D's. I said determined. Your determination and drive. You know.
Totally. So next question.
Oh, well, thank you.
This will be question 5. If you guys can hear me well. No. One word that describes the senior.
Inspiring.
It's exhilarating. Exhilarating, yes. Inspiring. It's exciting. It's it's
Fun.
one of those. One word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of words to describe
and it's intense.
No, it totally is. I love how with a lot of these answers you guys give, you really are showing how, like, even though it's the same story, Mike, you got to experience it, and Michael, you brought it to screen, and we're gonna have a lot of people watch that coming here on September 19th, which, like, that's what makes the senior so special. And it's honestly, I think it's kind of sweet that, like, it's Mike and Michael together telling the story about the 59-year-old, like, college linebacker, and you portrayed it literally at that time in your life as well.
Yeah.
It honestly just feels like the stars aligned for it. Yeah, totally. And it makes this story even more special.
Just line up. It just lined up. It did. I've been really blessed and fortunate enough to make a bunch
Perfect
of
timing.
And there's things that don't go the way you'd like, but I've had a number of really wonderful experiences along the line of my career, and this is one of those diamonds along the way that I will cherish for the rest of my life. Really.
Yes. No. And I truly think that that's going to be something that's going to be really impactful, because I also heard it took a long time to get this movie to get made. Like, once it got picked up, it took some time, and now it just aligned, and it just aligned the time that it needed to come.
Christina, it took 18 years for Mark Ciardi to get this film made.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. There's some freshmen in college right now who, when Mark Ciardi got the rights through Mike, that they were just being born. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's insane. And for it to play right out as soon as you also were that same age, that's also incredible. Like, the way that it all lined up, totally.
Right.
Okay.
Well, just think about the determination that Mark had to have to believe in himself and his understanding of what a great story is as a producer, to just stay with it and stay with it and stay with it for all those years and see it through. I mean, a lot of lesser people would have quit long ago, and you wouldn't blame them. You get a lot of no's in business, and you hear these stories about independent films where they go, oh man, it took me 5 years to make this movie. Oh yeah, I know, it took me 6 years to make mine. 18 years, it's a lifetime. It's unbelievable. So I my hat off to the Shark.
Yeah. Well,
I think we're cutting out a little bit there.
Mark's a professional baseball player. He understands adversity and sticking with something and seeing it through, and that's what he did.
Yes, and like, I think football fans are going to love this story, especially in the height of football season right now. I think it's only like perfect timing as well for this to come out.
Christina, I'm going to take it a step further. I think not just football fans, sports fans, anybody who's played in a team sport, male, female, I don't care. If you've played on a team, you're going to love this. And by the way, even I had people at the USC screening last night. One gal said to me, never played sports in my life. I love this movie. I'm going to actually start watching football. Said that to me. Yeah.
Football gets so fun the more you watch it. I've had family members explain it to me more, because it's at first it's confusing, but honestly, once you get into it, it is addicting to watch football. I totally believe that, and just sports in general. So I'm so excited for many different audiences to see this.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
just want to again remind those who are joining us now to get your tickets for the senior that comes out on September 19th on angel.com/senior live. Now, there's a couple more questions I have for you guys before we get down to some of our reflections. I want to kind of have you guys start thinking about scenes from the film and have those in mind as I ask you guys some of these. For Michael, was there a particular scene that felt more powerful while filming it?
I'm sorry about a long answer, but I got to give it.
Okay, no, you're all good.
I've always thought of movies as a string of pearls, right? What you're trying to do is each scene is a pearl, and you want it to be a perfect pearl. And if you line them all up and you have enough beautiful pearls together, you make a beautiful necklace, right? And that's the metaphor, right? So this string of pearls is exceptional because there's so many scenes in this movie that I feel that way about. And that's a rare thing, you know. Sometimes you have movies where, yeah, there's several and they're really, really beautiful. And some they're one or two. But this is like there's multiple, there's two in a row I'll mention, okay? The scene where and I don't want to give spoilers. The scene at the house with Eileen when she confronts Mike and makes him make a promise. All right. And that's directly followed by Coach telling me about the Bills player and how the team feels. I'm saying cryptically because I don't want to spoil it for people. But those two scenes are beautiful, powerful scenes. And we knew it in the room. We knew it when we were making them. When we finished them, we looked at each other and, Mary Stewart and I were just like, you know, also the scene that's people have seen it. It's in the first trailer where I snap at her. And one of the producers was a little concerned that I might have gone at her a little too, powerfully, a little too aggressively. And Mary Stewart was like, y'all married? And so it just showed this innate understanding of the journey of marriage and partnership. And, I don't know, there's just a whole lot of human understanding in this cast and crew and the writers and director and producers. It's just that's a rare thing when you get a bunch of really good storytellers in a room. Then they get it.
Yeah. And that is so true. I'm excited for more people to get to see that. A question for you now, Mike. You got to see scenes from your life replayed. What were some moments when you were watching it and you're like, wow, I remember that moment? How did that make you feel? What was that like for you?
Well, it was, again, the memories coming back the way that they did. It was, just a kaleidoscope of emotions and feelings that I had at different scenes and the way that it played out. Convincing Eileen that it was I had to go back to play, and having her, align with me in that, because without her, it never happens. Meeting mates for the first time, and the back and forth that we had, the banner, and then the opportunity to earn their respect, and I did, and they gave it, and it was so. I guess achievement to me to realize I did earn the respect of my teammates, and they were defensive of me. And people would say, "So Ross, is that where that old man is playing?" And say, "Hey, that old man has got a name." And they, their endearment to me was so precious and such, such a blessing, that you don't normally get, and having the opportunity to make them and speak into their lives and share some of the life experiences that I had with them was the whole reason that I went back. That was the motive for me to 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 help those young guys, and I was former teammates coming back to watch me play. So many of them came back off that 1970, 1971 that came back to watch me play, and we were all back together again for the first time on 37 years. And so those were that will always be near and dear to my heart, and things that I will never forget.
Okay. So I'm just hearing back from our live stream helper right now, but okay. I think as I'm hearing you guys' answers and hearing that story also about like family and the moments that kind of play all together, there's a lot of families that are going to come and see this film, and they're going to be really impacted as they leave the theater, because like they're going to think back how people have advocates there in their life, and how it's the moments that you go through that, thanks to the people who advocate for you and are there to support you in your dreams, can really like help you overcome a lot of that adversity that one can go through. As audiences walk out of the film, what's a message that you really hope for them to really stick to them and think about?
Mike?
Well, for me, it was like it received so much publicity when I went back to. I would have guys walk up to me and offer to shake hands, and I would say yeah, and then we'd shake hands, and I'd have to ask them their name, to tell me their age. I'm 2, I'm 50, and then they would start to tell me about the things that they had started to do, that they had inspired because I went back to play, pick up something again that they thought maybe it was over for them. And I hope people, men, women, children, all realize that, I've told so many times, write a dream down pencil, because it's going to change, but it's still your dream, and you can't give up. At the end of the day, it should never be said that you ever quit. You can't quit. You just have to keep getting back up and getting back in the game.
Yeah. Also, I have to say, if you're a person that's had success and you've been blessed with success in your life, then, your mentorship to others can be incredibly invaluable. Like you can't put a price on it, because I look at my life and I think of the handful or so people that, if not for them, I don't know what would have happened to me. And one thing I love to do in my life is, look back at, students and at people who, that's why I sit on the boards of the universities that I've been a part of, so that I can do that, so that I can help out or provide some mentorship. And what Mike did, I think, is incredibly special, to be able to go and yes, in doing what he needed to do for his own heart and his own self, he did it for others. And we often, when we're telling stories in Hollywood, where we tend to talk about the negative ripple effect of the impact of negative actions and the consequences of negative actions. And what I love is that this is the ripple effect and the positive results of a wonderful action, because it works both ways.
I'm so excited for many audiences to get that impact and see the film and just walk out feeling all of this. Again, we want all audiences to experience this together. Go see The Senior and get your tickets now on angel.com/seniorlive. We're just 1 week away from the senior coming to theaters. I'm going to wrap up our time with some final thoughts here. But before I do that, are there any final reflections and things you'd like to share before we wrap up here?
Well, listen, I hate to sound like a salesman, because I just look, we're like the little movie that could, the thing is, when you look at this movie, it looks like it's a $50 million picture. It's the scale of it is phenomenal. But we're not that. We're a small movie and we don't have the big machine behind us. So we need people's help. We need people's word of mouth. We need people to get out there and talk about the movie. And we need you to get your friends and your family together. Like, look at it like you're having a tailgating party and go and see the senior and enjoy it together as a group.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a fun family experience if you do that together, or if your friends. You're literally gonna have a wonderful time. You are. I love that I can say that with such full-throated confidence that you're going to go and enjoy yourself. It's time well spent. It's going to entertain you. It's going to make you think, and it's going to make you cry and laugh and then leave you feeling hopeful. So, hey, Mike, you know, and it's gonna inspire people, and that's what I want for people. I want them to enjoy themselves.
Any last words from you for our audiences at home, Mike?
I agree. Yeah, everything that Michael said is spot on, and the relationships. I had a man tell me, a very influential individual years ago, looked at my story, and he said, "This will be a movie." He said, "It's going to be a movie." And I'll tell you why. He said, "This movie is about daddy issues," and he said, "Everybody has them," and so that's one of the things. One of the takeaway from the movie is daddy issues that are in my life. That they were there, and by the grace of God, they were resolved. And so it's one of those things that many times it just takes a little nudge from something like the senior, someone have that desire that to step out. They're encouraged to make that relationship right, and to make that phone call, or go and visit that parent or that child to resolve or reconcile that relationship. That huge. That could be life changing.
So many people will get to see this story. And again, we are just 1 week away from the senior to come to theaters on September 19th. You can scan that QR code or go on angel.com/seniorlive. Now, don't forget to watch on all of our socials. You can check the senior socials. Angel and Wayfair will be including things about this movie as it comes out. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Now, stay tuned though, because we still have that music video that was made for this film. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. It's also going to be the song that plays at the end credits of the film, which is another reason why you should stay to watch the whole film all the way through. So we'll get that going here in the next few minutes.
Yo, look, my own only opponent is in the mirror. I know it's nobody really. I notice me stand back and I know it's nobody realer. I'm opening my potential, know I gotta deliver. So I take a breath and that whistle blow. Snap the ball and I'm going off and that clock running, no timeouts and I'm trying for it. I don't care if that sun beaming, call me Icarus, cause I'm flying towards it. My wings strong and my heart full and my blood pumping. Clock ticking, crowd screaming, everything around me blurry. Running over everything in my jersey. I ain't got no time to think, it's no time to worry. These the moments I train for, and I can lift whatever, I can take whoever, I can run for hours like a hunter gatherer. Got the competition straight gunning for me. Drop the shoulder, I'm running towards them. Whole city got eyes on me. I'm just looking at the prize on. They gon' know our name, they gon' feel our pain. We gon' let it rain, and I promise I done been through everything, so I got it. I be doing everything that I gotta. They gon' have to bow down, kiss the ring. You been a queen, you still a king. When your spirit broken and it's hard to fix it. When the beast awoken and it's time to witness. Really life can bring you all kind of missions. Be strong enough to fight all conditions. Show the world, the little boys and girls, if you can change your mind and you can change the world. They gon' know our name, they gon' feel our pain. We gon' let it rain, and I promise I done been through everything, so I got it. I be doing everything that I gotta. Yeah, doing everything in my power. I'm trying to retire mama and tell her the world is ours. I'm starting to see the future, vividly getting clearer. My vision on Nostradamus, so pressure, I won't allow it. Let me be honest, I want this, gotta be a part. This moment is larger, wanna go farther, but I feel pressure under this stressing. Enemy on us, trying to be the oracle with my moral code. Really wanna try to be historical, cause I felt lost before. Real talk, it was hard to let it go. Better understand that, little bit of flame with a rap and it's swinging the flow. I got ice in my veins, and my name in these lights and they spelling it right. It's been so many nights, I struggle with trouble and pain in my life. Was ashamed of my life, so I came with the fight and they paying the price. I won't say it polite, they gon' know our name, they gon' feel our pain. We gon' let it rain, and I promise